This presentation is from the perspective of a district RTI director, and it is to an audience of elementary interventionists. Another special population that you may be serving in your Tier 2 groups are English language learners and migrant students. We know that research shows that English language learners are under-identified for special education services in early grades and then over-identified in middle school and high school. And in our district, we see these same trends. We know as elementary interventionists that early intervention is key and that it's important to identify students who require special education services as early as possible. Our district uses a dual language model, and students not making adequate progress should be served through RTI. So if you work on a dual language campus, make sure that you are coordinating with those teachers so that students who need services are getting them. If you do work on a dual language campus, you're familiar with this chart. Remember that the language of intervention should match the language of instruction. So if you are intervening with a second grade dual language student, depending on the language of instruction in the classroom, your language of intervention should match. It's possible that you will serve English language learners who are not in dual language. Some students whose parents have denied dual language services receive English instruction in the classroom, and their intervention should also be in English. Sometimes it's helpful to collect data in the home language, and you absolutely may do that, and you may consider that data when making instructional decisions, but all of the required assessments and progress monitoring should be administered in English because that is the language of instruction for those kids. When you are intervening with English language learners, it's important to use research-based strategies for instruction, things like scaffolded instruction that uses multiple methods of communication, including non-linguistic representations. It's important to explicitly teach and practice academic language that you're teaching. Use language supports like sentence stems and pictorial models. Use culturally responsive instruction to make connections between home and school, and make sure that you check those LPAC documents for English language learners and follow those accommodations in intervention as well as in all testing situations. At the bottom of this page, there's a link to resources and tools on the Round Rock ISD website that you can use with the students in your group. Just a word about migrant students. All of our migrant students in Round Rock also are English language learners. Migrant students are identified by the state if they fit the criteria, which means that they've moved within the last 36 months so that they can seek temporary seasonal agricultural or fishing activity. Migrant students are eligible for priority services, and the students who are eligible for those services in K through 2 are migrant students who have made a qualifying move in the previous year and are also designated as limited English proficient. They've been retained or they're over age for their grade level. In 3 through 12, migrant students who have made a qualifying move in the previous year and did not meet standard, were absent, or were not enrolled for one or more of the STAR tests are eligible for priority services. What that means for RTI. At the secondary level, we provide migrant students with support in credit recovery. At the elementary, RTI should coordinate with other services, such as the dual language program, to provide appropriate academic and behavioral supports for these students. If a student on your campus is designated as priority for service, Tier 2 placement can be fast tracked. We don't need to do the traditional 6 weeks of tier one because there's already documentation that shows a need for intervention. And so once you're aware of those students, it is appropriate, if they show the academic need, to go ahead and put them in that tier two placement to provide those appropriate interventions as soon as possible. I just want to close with a reminder of the link that's here for those best practice strategies, the resources and tools that you can use with the students in your groups. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if I can help you in any